All right, it's time for a pre-Thanksgiving edition of the Lowdown, brought to you by our friends at Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store, Wednesday, November the 23rd. I know you're excited about the turkey and the trimmings and the desserts and everything you're going to eat tomorrow, but before we get there, we got college basketball this afternoon, and we'll have it on the site by midnight tonight. Probably a lot earlier than that because both Ohio State and Dayton tip it off at 2:30 this afternoon. Buckeyes against Texas Tech are a 1.5-point underdog in the Maui Classic. That game is for fifth place. And the University of Dayton tips it off at 2:30 as well against Wisconsin in the Bad Boy Mowers Classic. We'll see what UD and Ohio State have to offer, and we'll chronicle it here for you on the site. Always free. That's the way we do it at PressProsMagazine.com. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and then Friday, get ready for some football. Yeah, baby. Tippecanoe. Amazing turnaround story by Tip this year. They were really good last year. They lost 19 starters, and they are in the state semifinals. They're the regional champ, and they're going to take on a team that's, probably not as much of a Cinderella story, but Bloom Carroll last year was Division 4. They move up to Division 3, and a lot of people wondered, will Bloom Carroll be able to hang in a game where they are behind and have to produce under pressure late? I mean, that's what's typified Tip here in the postseason, right? Tip has scored when it had to defeat Western Brown, the second seed, and Hamilton Baden, the top seed. What about Bloom Carroll? They had a pretty comfortable regular season where they really weren't challenged very much, but they're behind Watterson last week. 5 minutes to go, ball on their own 5-yard line, and Bloom Carroll proceeds to drive 95 yards. They converted a 3rd and 18. They got a pass interference penalty, and ultimately an 18-yard touchdown run in the final minute 14, and then intercepted to win the game. So they sound a lot alike to me. Bloom Carroll and Tip both making plays when they have to make it, and they will meet on Friday night at 7 o'clock at London High School in the Division III state semifinal. Then we get to Saturday night, and we have Marion Local, the Marion Machine, I like to call them, after watching them take apart Allen East last Saturday night at Wapakoneta. 55-0. Oh, by the way, without their best player, Darren Meyer, a consequential running back and outstanding linebacker. So they're taking on Columbus Grove. That game will be Saturday night at Lima Senior. We'll see if Marion can get to the state championship game, where we presume they will be taking on Kirtland. Kirtland, last year's Division 5 state runner-up. Shout out Versailles, knocking off Kirtland, ending their 50-plus game winning streak. And now Kirtland has dropped down a division to Division 6, where Marion Local climbed after winning the Division 7 state title a year ago. And it sure looks like these two legacy programs in the state of Ohio are on a collision course for Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium on the first weekend in December. They have a long history in state championship games, Kirtland and Marion Local. So keep it locked right here. We'll have the latest on the Flyers Saturday night, Lima Senior against Columbus Grove. And then elsewhere on Saturday night, Harmon Field in Wapakoneta. Yeah, I know it's got some other sponsors right now, but it'll always be Harmon Field, right? Phenomenal facility. And we were going to see a rematch of the 2020 state semifinal. 2021, I think. 2020. New Bremen and Lima Central Catholic. Now, you might look at the records and go, what's Lima Central Catholic doing here? They're 10-4. What's New Bremen doing here? They're 11-3. No. Both these teams play very tough schedules. Of course, New Bremen does. They're in the MAC. They lost to Marion Local. They lost to Coldwater. And then they sat out David Homan in the final regular season game, and they lost to Delphos St. John's. This game, as I said, is a rematch of the 2020 regional champion state semifinal, won by New Bremen. Of course it was. New Bremen won the state championship that year. But what a game it was. I went back and watched highlights of that on YouTube today. 28-26. New Bremen stops a 2-point conversion at the 1.5-yard line with 30 seconds to go, and then recovers an onside kick. New Bremen was behind in this game 13-0. They were behind 20-7. They came back and won it. Mitchell Hayes was the quarterback then. David Homan will be the quarterback on Saturday night. Hunter Schaefer scored the game-winning touchdown for New Bremen in that victory. And Hunter Schaefer still getting it done for New Bremen at the running back position. He's a senior now. He was a sophomore then. So these two teams have a history, and I'll be there at Harmon Field. Hopefully you'll be there too. Shout out New Bremen fans. Can't wait to see us. Looking for your second state championship of the fall, because Diana Kramer and the girls volleyball team got it done at the Nutter Center a couple of weeks ago. So can't wait for this particular weekend, championship weekend, or you get to the championship if you get past this weekend. And if you're going to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium on the first weekend in December, you need to build in that side trip that I talk about. We've talked about it all season long. It seems so far away back when we were in August, September, October, maybe even now that we're in November, but it's going to be here before you know it. You'll be driving on Route 30, 4 miles from Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store. And you're crazy if you don't stop. I mean, you're just absolutely crazy if you don't stop. And you're absolutely crazy if you don't enter the Lehman's $50 gift card giveaway, because what could be better than getting out, stretching your legs, checking out a store that is every bit as good as I've always told you it is, eating in their delicious cafe, checking out their unbelievably irresistible fudge, browsing their kitchen section, their hardware section, their camping section, their stove section, their grilling section, their toy section, on and on and on and on. See, it's not just a hardware store. It is the place to find the perfect gift for the hardest to buy for person on your list. Lehman's, my wife christened it years ago. We have everything you never knew you always needed. Not fluff, not stuff you won't use, stuff you'll use and go, how did I get by without this? I'm so glad they make it. I never seen it anywhere other than Lehman's, which is a one-of-a-kind retail experience. So check them out online right now, LEHMANS.com. Enter the Lehman's $50 gift card giveaway. Our entry box is loaded with entries this month because you all want that gift card on your way to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, 4 miles from Lehman's Hardware, which is just off Route 30 on Kidron Road. You can't miss it. On your right as you're going by. If you get to P. Graham Dunn, you went too far. You got to go back and you got to hit Lehman's. You won't see it from the highway, but when you get into Kidron, you can't miss it. It's right there on your right. So build that into your schedule. We hope to see you out and about at the games this weekend. Of course, we have Ohio State football on Saturday against Michigan. More on that to come in future editions of the Lowdown, which is sponsored exclusively by our friends at Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you soon.